Hi students, today we can discuss some of the board questions from the chapter acids, bases and salts. So first we'll start with the MCQs. See the first question given here is, which of the following gas is produced when dilute hydrochloric acid reacts with the sodium carbonate? So acid plus carbonate. So the gas expected is carbon dioxide. Option C. Okay, next question. A solution turns red litmus blue. That means the solution is basic. Blue, basic. Its pH is likely. So pH will be greater than 7. Right? So the answer here is option B, 8. Okay. Next question. What is the product of the reaction between magnesium hydroxide and hydrochloric acid? It is a base and an acid. Acid-base neutralization reaction. We are expecting salt and water. So here it is not salt and water, it's salt and water, but the formula of magnesium chloride is wrongly given. Here is not salt and water, here is salt and water, and the formula is correct also. So the option D is the correct answer. Okay. Next question, which of the following is an example of a weak acid? Nitric acid, sulfuric acid, acetic acid, hydrochloric acid. We know all except acetic acid are strong acids. The answer is C, acetic acid. Option C. Which of the following solutions will give a pink color with phenolphthalein? Phenolphthalein gives pink color with the basic substances. So you'll find a basic substance here. Here only sub solution is basic. All others are acidic or neutral. Okay, so option B is the answer here, which is basic. Next, what happens when a non-metal oxide dissolves in water? A non-metal oxide dissolves in water, you are getting basic acidic oxides, right? So it forms an acid is a correct answer. Option C is the answer. Non-metallic oxides dissolves in water, we will get acid. Next question, identify the substance used to remove the temporary hardness of water. We learned the answer is washing soda. To remove the temporary hardness of water. Okay, next, substance X is used for whitewashing. It reacts with water to form Y. When carbon dioxide gas is passed through Y, it turns milky, forming a precipitate, Z. Okay, identify X, Y and Z. X used for whitewashing, it is calcium oxide. Reaction with water gives slate lime, that means Y is slate lime. And on passing carbon dioxide forms calcium carbonate. Okay, that is the white precipitate. So the answer is first option, calcium oxide, calcium hydroxide, calcium carbonate. Option A. Next, ocean soda has the chemical formula Na2CO3 not 10H2O. What is the common name for the 10H2O part of the formula? It is not this, not this, not this. Water of hydration is the correct option here. It can be water of hydration or water of crystallization. Both is correct answer. Water of crystallization or water of hydration, option D. Question. Next question. The phenomenon that occurs when an acid is mixed with water. Okay, is ionization, dilution, neutralization. Only one and 3, and only 1 and 2. All 3. So we know an acid mixed with water, it ionizes, we know, and mixing of acid with water is called a dilution. So it is 1 and 2. So the answer is option C, 1 and 2. Okay. Next is an aqueous solution of a salt turns blue litmus red. Blue to red means it is basic. The salt is formed by the reaction of. So we are expecting blue to red means acidic salt. We are expecting an acidic salt. Solution turns blue to red means acid red. So the salt should be acidic. Means the parent acid should be strong, whereas the parent base should be weak. Strong acid, weak base. So option C is the answer here. Okay. Next question. What is the chemical formula of baking soda? The answer is very clear, NaHCO3. Next is plaster of Paris obtained from heating this substance. The answer is slate. No, gypsum is the answer. Option option B, gypsum. Plaster of Paris is obtained by heating gypsum at 373 Kelvin. We learned, isn't it? Next question is, solution turns red litmus blue. That means it's basic. So pH is likely to be. So pH should be above 7. The answer is option 10. Option D, 10 is the answer. Okay, basic solution it is. The pH value of pure water is 7. We know the answer. Then which of the following can be used as an acid-base indicator by a visually impaired student? So the student is a visually impaired student, so we cannot do observations. So litmus, turmeric, phenolphthalein, all these are observing. By observing only we can find, but smell, vanilla essence is an olfactory indicator which is changing its smell. So this is the answer, vanilla essence, option C, acid base indicator. Okay, olfactory indicator. Next question is, what happens when an acid reacts with metal carbonate? We discussed already. Acid plus metal carbonate, carbon dioxide, salt, water, and carbon dioxide gases. Salt, water, and carbon dioxide gases formed. Option C. Okay. Next question. It is assertion reason type question. Option first question, it is given. Assertion: the process of dissolving an acid in water is a highly exothermic process. The assertion is correct, right? The acid must always be added slowly to water with constant. That is also correct. Okay. So since it is an A and R are correct, and R is the explanation of A. Option A is the answer. Next, dry HCl gas does not change the color of dry blue litmus paper. Assertion is correct, right? Then HCl gas dissolves in water present in wet litmus paper to form H plus ions. Okay. So HCl gas is producing H plus. This is also correct. HCl gas dissolves in the water and present in the wet litmus to form H plus ion. That is also correct. So even though it is correct, it is not the correct explanation of assertion, right? So a reason is not is correct. A is correct, R is correct, but R is not the correct explanation of A. Okay. Then next is a solution with pH is equal to 3 means acidic is more acidic than solution with pH 5. Correct, right? More, lower the pH, higher the concentration of H plus ions. So it will be more acidic. Then lower the value of pH, higher the concentration of H plus ions. So it's correct. Okay, so A and R are correct, and R is the correct explanation of A. So option A is the answer for this question. Next is gas bubbles are observed when sodium carbonate is added to dilute hydrochloric acid. We know carbon dioxide gas is given off in the reaction. That is correct. So A and R are correct, and R is the correct explanation of A. Option A. Next question, a plaster of Paris. Plaster of Paris should be stored in moist-proof container. Correct only. Plaster of Paris has water of crystallization which makes it wet. That is wrong actually. So A is correct, R is false. Option C is the answer. Okay. Then previous year about questions, short answers questions. It is a student mixed a few drops of universal indicator with a solution of sodium bicarbonate. What color change would be observed? We know sodium bicarbonate is a basic salt, so it will be changing to. The answer is given here. Sodium bicarbonate is a strong salt of strong base and a weak acid, making its aqueous solution slightly basic. So universal indicator turns into blue. Okay. Now next question, explain why an aqueous solution of a base conducts electricity while an alcohol solution does not. So aqueous solution of base conducts electricity because it dissociates and forms ions in water, whereas alcohol will not dissolve in water producing ions. So there is no production of free mobile ions in the case of alcohol, whereas basic solution produce free mobile ions. For example, NaOH, if it dissolves in water, we are having Na plus and OH minus ion. Okay. Whereas alcohol which is having hydrogen in it but it does not dissociate in water to produce ions, free mobile ions. Okay, so it will not conduct electricity. Next is what happens when nitric acid is added to an eggshell. Eggshell we know it is calcium carbonate, so it produces brisk effervescence, means bubbling. Bubbles, lot of bubbles will be coming out of the solution, which is due to the production of carbon dioxide gas. Okay, the equation is given here. Okay, now explain the difference between a strong and a weak acid. Strong acid completely dissociates, whereas weak acid partially dissociates. Strong acid, the concentration of H plus ions will be very high, whereas weak acid, the concentration of H plus ions will be very low. Okay, so that is the difference between strong and weak acids. Next, why does a fresh milkman add a small amount of baking soda to fresh milk? Fresh is wrong here. Why does milkman add a small amount of baking soda to fresh milk? Reason is the milkman wanted the milk to be alkaline, and he slightly changes the pH into alkaline stage of this because it delays the formation of curd. Okay, the answer is given here. A fresh milkman adds a small amount of baking soda to fresh milk to slightly increase its pH, making it slightly alkaline. This prevents the milk from turning sour quickly. The souring of milk is due to the formation of lactic acid by bacteria, and the alkaline baking soda neutralizes this acid, delaying the process. Okay, so the milk remain fresh for a long time. Okay, by adding baking soda into it. Okay. Next is, why does an acid not show acidic behavior in the absence of water? Give a relevant chemical equation. See, an acid shows acidic behavior only it produces H plus aqueous ions. So it need water for that. So if there is no water, no H plus aqueous ions will be formed. Okay. So it will not be behaving like an acid substance. Okay. That the answer is given here. The acid in water produces H3O plus or H plus aqueous ions. It is if in the presence of this only, hydronium ions only, acid can behave like acids. Okay. If no water, no hydronium ion will be produced. Okay, now next question. How is the concentration of hydronium ions affected when a solution of an acid is diluted? See, hydronium ion, the concentration will be decreasing because we are adding water, so it increases the volume and the concentration will be decreasing. So concentration of hydronium ion will be decreasing on adding water or on dilution. Okay. See, that question is asked in a different way. Actually, this is a 5 marks question, I think. Fresh milk has a pH of 6. A milkman adds a tiny pinch of baking soda to it. Why does he shift the pH of the fresh milk from 6 to slightly alkaline? We know the answer. Why does this milk take a longer time to set into curd? We discussed much before, but the question is being asked in a different way. Okay, so the answer is given very clearly how to give the answer for that. Okay, we discussed already. So 5 marks question. What is a chloralkali process? Why is it named so? Write the overall balanced chemical equation for the reaction. List 2 main uses of each product obtained in this process. Okay, so here answer is given here, and we know the answer. We discussed while we were discussing the lesson. Okay, the answer is given here in a proper way. We can include the diagram as well. The balanced equation is also given here, and it is good to add draw the picture also. Okay, and the use of products, it is given chlorine, sodium hydroxide and hydrogen. The use of all the 3 products are given here. This is the way to give answer in the proper way. Next, identify the starting material used for the preparation of bleaching powder and the equation for the preparation reaction. What happens when dilute sulfuric acid reacts with the bleaching powder? Give the balanced equation. State 2 important use of bleaching powder. And this section B is actually not given in the text, anyway we'll discuss here. So the starting material for the production of bleaching powder is slaked lime, calcium hydroxide. Reaction is this: calcium hydroxide plus Cl2 gives CaO, Cl2 plus H2O. It is a preparation reaction. Then this is a reaction, even though it is not given in the text, it's given here. Bleaching powder reacts sulfuric acid, producing salt, chlorine gas, and water, and this is the reason for the bleaching action. Okay. Then uses of bleaching powder is given here. This is also a 5 marks question. Okay. So that's all for this video. Thank you.